Hello fellow humans and welcome to this shop review, and today I want to talk about the Skoda T27 and T56. Now if you remember correctly, the M4 4190 and the E75 TS cost 10,000. This thing costs 22,000. Are they twice as good? No, they're not. So immediately that disqualifies it against that one bundle alone. And obviously if you want a shitty animated avatar that is worth about 10 gold, sure, but the camos, essentially, they're in this bundle not because they want you to have camos, but because they want to jack up the price and want you to pay more for things that you don't need. And that's basically what this is about. So, is the bundle worth it? No. Is the Skoda worth it? No, not as well. I have the Skoda T27, I will play that later as well. However, we'll have a look at this one and why you should definitely not buy it, and also why I won't waste 50,000 gold on it either. So, let's have a look at this vehicle. Obviously, say it with me, every Tier 8 premium that's sold for above 10,000 gold is not worth it. Poof, there you have it. Because you could have gotten, for example, the 112.2 for free. Let's have a look at the stats, and as always, if you think the video is useful, then don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, what we can see immediately is the penetration is not that great. I mean, 215 is fine, but it's never anywhere near that of a MX M4 or even a T34. Now, I do have 450 alpha damage, but you pay for it with a slightly reduction in DPM, so essentially you have the same as a 2FTU here. Now, you do have 8 degrees of gun depression, which is very useful over that of a 2FTU, but then again, the T42 has 10, and that thing is just better anyway. Aim time, dispersion is pretty bad on both, but the Skoda wins slightly. So, again, it loses out in mobility by a slight margin, so you essentially trade 2 degrees of gun depression for a slight amount of mobility reduction. The armor is actually fairly similar. You can ignore this down here because only crate noobs have this one, and a lot more people have access to this one, so just this doesn't matter. So let's have a look at the armor as well, and let's see if there's something that can somehow justify the price being 3 times as much. Now, there isn't really. The lower plate's weak, as on every single vehicle, and the upper plate is strong, like a 2FTU armor layout as well. However, obviously, the plate on this one is flat, 300mm effective, which is very strong. Obviously, from the top, it isn't. If you use your gun depression, you're pretty much impenetrable, which is very nice. Very nice add-on. The cupola somewhat hides away out of the way if you are using 8 degrees of gun depression, so that is very nice. So it can work well in a hold-down setting like that, which is definitely a nice thing to have. But is it worth 3 times as much as an Object 2FTU, or an infinite amount of times compared to a 112.2, which, remember, you could have gotten for free? So, is it worth that? No, of course not. And to add to that shame of wargaming, let's now have a look at the same vehicle in World of Tanks PC, because there is a reason to do that. This vehicle here in World of Tanks PC is a autoloader, only with 2 shots, but it has 460 alpha damage with a 2-shot autoloader. And so, you know, wargaming, you could have made this tank interesting. You already made the tank interesting in World Tanks PC, yet they made a overpriced 2FTU clone again. So, you see, this is not on me hating on every tank. This is simply wargaming not being capable of actually selling something that's worth paying for. So, let's have a look at the T27, because I actually own this vehicle. I don't know why, but here we are. Now, I'm not going to waste 12,000 gold on a vehicle that is... I know how it plays anyway. And that you shouldn't do that either, because the only difference between the 2FTU and the Skoda is essentially you have 20, 30 more alpha damage, and you have a couple of positions more that you can actually play with, which is nice to have, certainly. So it is probably a bit better than a 2FTU, but obviously, the problem is, a bit better isn't worth double the price, or even more than double. So, and infinitely more than the 112.2, which again, you could have gotten for free in the event. So, if you want to pay an infinite amount of more money for essentially 10% performance increase, that's your thing. I'm not going to stop you, but again, that's not worth it, and I'm not recommending that. So, the thing is, if you really do want the vehicle for whatever reason, then I guess no, still don't. Because it is probably going to come and show up in a couple of months again, and then it might be at a somewhat reasonable price of 7 to 8k gold, because that's where the reasonable tier rate's at, you know, if you remember. The TF4E2, amazing vehicle, sold for 8.5k, so everything that's above that, that's worse, isn't worth it, which is this one. So, I don't have a team at all, as you can see. It's 1 minute 30 and they're all dead, so that's lovely. They haven't even fought back at all. So now, I'm gonna try to take out the whole re here, or wait for the TF4 lightweight to do that, because I'm now getting out of this city, because obviously, with no team whatsoever, you're not gonna have anyone that shields you from getting shot at, which is obviously very unfortunate. Obviously that guy's dead as well. They're all just... I mean, they went city, so like... trash beats trash at that point. I'm gonna go and reload here. Obviously the TF2 lightweight is dead as well, and it's 1v5. Well, ideally 1v4 if he does get out the ISU, which is... thank you. And now he's dead. Now, am I going to throw myself in there and die for them? Of course not, because when I'm dead, I can't shoot at the enemy. So, I know that most likely I am the best player on this map. Now, is that out of cockiness or anything like that? No, that is simple math. So, here we go. Why would I throw myself under the bus for a player that I know is worse than me? There is no reason to do that, because I will be more effective in most cases than that player. So, why should I throw my hit points away for no gain? Because I won't gain those hit points lost back, and the teammate that is shit won't gain them back either. And obviously I got the T71 up my ass, there's nothing I can do about him, he's faster. Best I can do is try to run away from the WZ, and then have it go at the T71, and hope he rams himself into me, or something like that. No, because obviously I can't clip him. So, he did ram himself into me, but with HE I might be able to take him out. There we go. That is solid, but now obviously the T-34 is at a problem, and obviously also the Juto is capping, which he's doing correctly here. Putting on some pressure that I can't fight. Now, ideally, I don't care about the cap here, because as it's not winnable anyway. But I will try to take out the WZ's tracks, and he misses. That's good. And obviously I don't do enough damage there. But yeah, 2.7k damage with no team. I think that's still solid now, which kind of also proves that you don't necessarily need to have a team to play well in a vehicle. What the hell did the T-34 do? He was full HP. How did he die? What the hell? Okay. That's... okay, then. Sure. Alright. Okay. That's... what did he do? Anyway, if you have a team like this, then there is nothing you can do. However, the tank is still solid. However, obviously, it is overpriced, just like the T27, T56 rather, is as well. And let me tell you, you could just get yourself a 53 TP with the same gun depression for free as well. So not only can you get the 121, the 112-2 for free, right, for the event, if you did get it, you can also get yourself this vehicle for free if you want to have the performance. So you can get the credits for cheaper, and you can get the performance for cheaper. So there's absolutely no reason to buy the Skoda T56 at all. So, if you're wondering why I hate every tank, it's because Wargaming sells shit. That's why. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. See you next one. Bye-bye.